What's up, y'all? This is Isaiah Tilson. I'm back with the First Amendment. Yo, man, we got a lot to talk about today, man. Uh, I am very, very interested in things that goes on uh, in the political realm. I'm very, very interested in things like that. I look at a lot of these guys. They come out with videos, on their YouTube page, and some of the videos is very entertaining. And I look at the videos and I watch what they say. And a lot of these guys are political figures, or a lot of them are aiming to become political figures. Y'all know, man. I'm not aiming to become no type of political figure. I don't care about becoming no type of political figure. So everything I say don't have to be politically correct. So a lot of people that I meet on this journey of journalism, a lot of people that I meet on this journey of journalism wants to become political figures. So the whole model is kind of like building a campaign around themselves. You know what I mean? So they say a lot of things to build the identity around themselves. Now, my motto is that I like journalism and I like I like reporting things to y'all. So I want to build around a model around myself that I 100% tells the truth and I call it straight down the middle. So earlier today I was doing a show on this other podcast, and the show was about Donald Trump political economical numbers of 2018, and he had a beautiful second quarter in 2018. The fourth quarter was horrible, but the second quarter was beautiful. So we was actually talking about of 2000. So Donald Trump numbly is doing a great job. So immediately I think the panel was full of Democrats, and I'm not picking on Republicans or I'm not picking on Democrats, but the panel was full of Democrats. And when I was saying the truth, a lot of people were saying, well, the economical, the world economics is bad right now. America uh GDP rate is great. America economics are is actually great right now, but the world economics is doing bad. So that's what they were saying. The world economics is doing bad, and uh how we have to change things. And my whole thing is that I get it. You think the world economics is doing bad. You know what I mean? And it is. That's 100% a fact. But when we're talking about, and I know I'm gonna get there. You know what I mean? I'm gonna get there. Just follow. When we talking about political things, and we talking about what wins in politics, some people do not follow the strategic moves to what's actually happening. So they'll follow the crime rate, but won't follow the crime rate to the cities versus a city and what's going on in that city, and how do crime changes inside the city, and what cities is full of crime, and why. Some people might just follow the crime rate as a whole in the United States. Some people might just follow the crime rate as a whole in the world. Somebody might follow racism as a whole in the world to versus somebody following racism as an African American racism in the United States, or Jewish racism inside Germany, or it's certain. So you could be your eyes wide open to one thing, but blind shut to another. And this is just honestly, like, this is not nobody's being biased. You could just literally be open to what you want to hear and never had a second opinion, or somebody voice their opinion that comes from a totally different side, and you might have never even heard it before. because the generation that we live in, you can control the information that you hear. I remember at one point you couldn't control what you wanted to watch. You had to watch what was on TV. Now you might have liked it, the program, but you had to watch whatever came up next. It was like either you pick it from this or that. But you can't go on Netflix and be like, I'm picking this. Or I couldn't like at one point you couldn't do that unless you had tapes, and that type of stuff was expensive back then. I remember VH player was damn near $150 for a VH player, VHS player. So you can't control exactly what you want to. I mean, you can control exactly what you want to watch right now. That plays a huge difference on politics. And now every news organization is sort of biased because of the lobbying and the paying for different ways for things to be brought to you. You know what I mean? So a lot of newscast places is very biased. That's why a lot of information you get is way better on radio stations or podcasts. It brings you a different view. I'm trying to let people know and awareness that no matter how much you believe that something is one way, you need to look at it 100 different ways before you actually accept that this is what I'm going with. This is exactly what I'm going with. I'm going with this. This is what I want to go with. And when we're talking about politics, most of the people that does politics or is in politics don't really, well, the people that does politics is in politics don't really conversate with everyday people. The people that wants to get into politics only conversate with people that talks about politics. You know, they get out here and hit the campaign trail and they go towards their brand because they don't have time to switch voters. And I get it. You know what I mean? You go to people that you know you have a chance with because you don't have time to give somebody that you don't know advance. You know, because it's a high chance that you're not going to change somebody's mind about who they're voting for or what party that they vote for. So I get that. You know, I get that you have to work on your campaign trail. But with that system being put in place, you have to understand that some people is machines, as in voters, not the people, not the political parties or the politics, but the actual voters. They are machines. They just used to pulling one thing. Not saying that everybody pulls Democrat, every African American pulls Democrat, and every white person pulls Republican. Not saying that because there's a lot of African Americans that are Republicans. But what it is that a lot of people don't know 100% the politics, even the political figures that is running. Some political figures is based on one thing. They want to have a criminal reform or schools or they want to be a part of one movement so they can focus on that movement and make it go somewhere. So we get that. Now, when we talking about everyday Americans, and this is what I want to talk about to kind of open people's eyes up, that does politics. When we talking about everyday Americans and poor people, we have to reach out to them or give them a candidate that they can respect and trust. Because when you look at the numbers of how many people that is voting and they keep saying, oh, it's a mass turnout, it's a turnout. The only time when we had a spike in a turnout is when Barack Obama, the first time he ran for president, the very first time in 2008. That's when we had a spike in an amazing turnout, and when he ran for president. Now we have big turnouts and turnouts that's different from the other ones or midterms that looks better than presidential candidate runs, like how we had in 2018 versus 2016, the presidential candidate run. We had more people show up for the midterms to kind of offset what the Republicans was doing. Is people going to show up in 2020 like this? I don't know, because everyday people don't really care about things that's happening. I'm telling people this. I did a podcast earlier today about the growth in in America and how good the numbers is doing, but the difference between everyday Americans, and I'm an everyday American. I'm not a political figure. I'm an everyday American. The difference between the everyday American is that we don't see that growth. It's not. It's the difference for us as it was in 2000. I mean, it's the same for us as it was in 2018, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12. It is the same for us. Even though America in 2017 and 18 has profit numbers that is amazing. That is amazing. America has profit numbers that sometimes you probably can't even believe that they're that good. They're amazing. America has these profit numbers that I know I say the same thing a lot. You know what I mean? But America really has a great profit range. And when you're looking at this type of things and you understand what's happening and you're looking at it, you're like, damn, okay, America is doing really good. But how come everyday poor people don't see this? How come everyday poor people don't see the growth in America? How come everyday poor people don't see the growth in the economy? How come everyday poor people, we know it's happening. We hear about the economy growing. We hear about the tax breaks for the richest, but even that was supposed to have trickled down and finally hit us. How come those type of things don't hit us? How come we don't see the growth? When you understand that that's what drags Americans into voting, and that's why voting has been so down, and that's why people haven't cared. It's because we don't see the everyday growth in America, whether it's doing good or bad. Even in a recession, I don't think that poor people actually felt that it was a recession. They felt it was the same as regular, unless we were talking about poor people that was driving cars. And then that makes you, take the line on border patrol of being poor. So I mean, like, a lot of people always say, well, black people is Democrats or black people is conservatives. But when you're talking about conservatives, and when I'm hearing of the policies for why African Americans wants to be conservatives, it's a lot of talks that a lot of African Americans can't even start having the conversation. Oh man, it's great businesses. It's great. Well, African Americans got a lot of African Americans sits in a unique situation of having bad credit. So when you talk to a lot of African Americans that is conservatives, that's what they say. You can own your own business. You can own your own business. But now understanding that a lot of African Americans start off with bad credit or no credit at all. So when you talk about owning your own business, African Americans see this as not a everyday American. Everyday poor African American or just an American sees that as not even being feasible, not even being possible. Owning your own business. Dude, get out of my face. I can't even get a job. Dude, I can't even support my kids. How the hell I'm going to find time to invest in a business that I own? This is what I say that is very misleading to conservatives. The reason why people, when you talk about conservatives, now Democrats talk about more jobs for African Americans, but Trump has opened up more jobs for African Americans. This is a fact. But they're regular jobs. They're not jobs with good paying wages. They're regular jobs. Regular jobs has opened up with us because of the growth of the economy, because of how many immigrants that are scared to actually work and risk of being uh, deported. ICE is running down on everybody. So it's different. It's a different atmosphere. You know what I mean? In America in 2000, from 2016 to 2018. But the atmosphere is the same towards the presidency. People don't really care about what Donald Trump is doing. They walk outside every day and see that the sky's not falling. So they really don't care. A lot of Democrats is trying to sell you the Russia probe. A lot of Democrats is trying to sell you the Mueller investigation, the Southern District of New York investigation. They try to show you the Stormy Davis, the hush money payments. You know, they try to sell you a lot of things that is not ultimately going to matter at one point. These things is not ultimately going to matter. We have to understand how out of touch regular Americans, regular everyday Americans is with political parties. You know, we might vote for these guys for presidencies or mayors, but we're really just voting for the ideas that we know that was instilled with us from as a kid. But we're not really voting for policies because I'm telling you, almost 60% of Americans don't know 100% of the policies that one candidate carries. Don't even know. The statistics don't even know, like, close to 30% of only knows 30% of the policies that a candidate carries. So when you understand that Americans is really not on political science as they should be with picking these candidates and understanding the strategic plan of what goes on. Because I think that if Americans understand what went on with politics, a lot of things will piss Americans off with how much people is able to get away with things, or things is swept underneath the rug, or money is used for things that you wouldn't even expect that money is being used for. Suing and all these things takes out of money from the United States government. Little petty arguments and bickering back and forth takes out of things from the United States argument. How much the United States spend, how much they spend on parties and bringing people out to the White House and doing this and doing that. How much this actually affects everyday Americans like me and you. Now, the people that are going to the White House, the political figures, it don't really affect them. It don't really affect them. They want to be a part of the top 1% or the people that know people. You know, the people that know people to get out of things. You know what I mean? It don't really affect them. They put on a show for us, and we the ones that these policies affects our everyday life. They're the elite. People that's in Congress and people that's inside. They're the elite. They're public officials. We put them up on a pedestal. This is society's best. That's what a public official is. You know, it's society's best that we're willing to make decisions for us because we trust them, because they're society best, and we trust them to do the job of making decisions for us. And while we pay the taxes and work hard for the actual city to maintain and function. But when you understand that these political figures is not really society's best, they're in a bubble and a circle that is totally distant from regular day people. These political figures and parties, and I'm talking about group of people. When you go to the White House and you see group of political people and policies and people that is a bubble that everyday Americans do not live. Right? Like we're so focused on the roof leaking. We're so focused on the bus fare, the school trips, the school lunches for the kids, Make sure the kids did their homework. We're not able to keep up with every single political movement that happens. Remember, a lot of these things happens every single day. I be reading bills sometimes. It takes me a week, but almost 3 bills dropped in that sort of time. So I'm behind. You know what I mean? So it's a lot of things because I got a regular job. I'm a boxer. You know, I do a lot of things. So it's different. You know what I mean? It's like, yo, like you be focused on politics, but it's so much other things that happens within politics that it kind of like, oh shit, let me go off here, and then you all on a tangent, and you didn't even chop that the surface yet. I want people to really kind of get what happens when that goes on. You know what I mean? I think that America is so close right now and so brainwashed now. You know what I mean? Everybody is so scared of really sitting down and listening to people, listening to other ideas. I think America is definitely scared. We is on one agenda. One agenda. It's either it's either we're on one agenda for America. We want America to become something new. Even Donald Trump, even the Democrats, even the independent parties. They want America to become something new. Donald Trump has a make America great again. You know, he wants to make America, he wants to change America to what it was old to again. So it's like a new bright, a new shining star for America. You know, we're gonna still have our farming and all these farming bills. And I'm gonna cut taxes for this and cut taxes for that for the rich and the elite. And then you have people like the Democrats, Bernie Sanders, and well, I'm gonna put Bernie Sanders off to the side, and I'm gonna put people like Kamala Harris and Cory Booker and Elizabeth Warren and all them people. Whereas though they're saying free Medicaid, but Bernie Sanders is saying free a lot of things. And you know we have these type of people, and we got them doing that type of work. But I don't think people really understand because let me give y'all this story. I was talking to somebody about Venezuela, and I don't know the president name. It's Nicholas something Maduro, I think. Yeah, Nicholas Maduro, I think. Yeah, in Venezuela. Now the old guy that was the president of Venezuela, Hugo, I think. It's not Castro. It's not whatever. It's Hugo something. The old president that was running the regime, and then it's Nicholas. I forgot. I'm sorry, y'all, you guys. But a lot of people believe that Nicholas is doing socialism just off the behalf of what Donald Trump says. But when you go into it, he's really a dictatorship that has nothing to do with socialism. It has nothing to actually do with socialism. And the guy before him wasn't really had nothing to do with socialism. He had programs that support a socialist kind of construct like Medicaid and the police and the government does in America supports a socialist kind of idea. So knowing that and knowing that when you see, okay, when you see people take information and don't research the actual information. Not saying that the president is a liar. I'm not jumping on that bandwagon. I don't got time for that. You know what I mean? Is he a liar or is he not a liar? Just saying that the president does, sometimes, everybody facts is not 100% true. I don't know where he gets the facts from. He needs to fact check it, but I'm fine with it if he don't want to fact check it. I'm fine with it. But I just know that that's not 100% the truth. Now, I tell people on border security, we have a lot of issues in Mexico. We have a lot of issues in Central America, and then we have a lot of issues in South America. I believe that we should have controlled borders. Do I think it's a national emergency right now? No. Do I think that it's a growing problem? Yes. Do I know that? Do I know that Obama gave money to border fencing? Yes, we know this. Do I know that Obama wanted to put more focus and time in the border fencing? Yes, We know this. But when you talk to people, oh no, Obama never border fencing is inhumane. But Democrats made border fencing. So that's the things that I said. Now the reason why I agree with Democrats is because I am a socialist kind of guy because I grew up around poor people. I knew exactly what they want, and I agree with what they want. That's why I agree with Democrats, not because I don't know the policies. I understand the policies, and that's what I want. You know what I mean? I want a type of socialist America. I want that. I believe that we can give that to people, especially how much land we stolen. Everybody say, well, it's going to take down America. Well, listen, I don't think that America is never going to be able to be taken down. And people needs to work harder if they believe that that's going to happen. But people deserve a break. People deserve a break from every day from being hustled by the government. You know what I mean? People deserve a break. And I want people to clearly understand that I'm totally with a socialist America. I'm totally with that. Not the type of socialism that Bernie Sanders want though. I'm not with extreme socialism, not even AOC. But I think AOC, that was her projection of what she was trying to make it look like. You know what I mean? I'm not with extreme socialism where people don't have to work. I'm not with that type of socialism. I'm with strategic plans on how to make America better. How to make America better and make people that feel like that they stuck, not stuck. Make people feel like that is nothing else is no other help, is no other lifeline. Make people feel like that that's not an option when you live in America. That once when you have bad credit by 23, 24 years old, there's no hope. I got student loans, I got bad credit, there's no hope. I want people to give or it is hope, but it's going to take me about 10 to 15 years to get out of this mess that only took me a year to get in. I want to put incentives on helping people and raising awareness of how to spend certain type of money. I think that that's the whole thing with a lot of things that happens around our community. First, we have to bring in the money, and then we need to know how to spend our money. You know what I mean? But that's a story for a different topic and different day. You guys, I appreciate everything. Hit the like, subscribe to the page, do everything you can possibly do, man. I appreciate everything that everybody does, man. And tomorrow I'm gonna be talking about. I want to kind of give a conversation, or I want to talk about, the understanding of the state of America around the world. Like, what is the vision of what America is around the world? And I think that will bring us full circle with understanding, 2020 and the presidential candidates that we have for 2020 and who is realistically enough to win. Because Donald Trump is kicking ass with numbers. And when you kick ass with numbers, it's very hard. Very, very hard. It's very, very hard to defeat somebody that is making America money. You know what I mean? Donald Trump is making America money. This is just facts. And for them to bring in somebody like Bernie Sanders, that's 100% socialism, and this type of program is going to take a lot to turn around for America having 2 great years. It's going to take a lot of convincing. And even people that is regular Democrats, everyday Democrats, it's going to take a lot of convincing to them to make them believe to get on this Bernie Sanders socialism train. He rarely wins the African American votes. He don't win the African American votes. I urge the Democrats to build a candidate that can compete not just against Donald Trump, that could compete economically with the plans that we want. Not trying to stabilize America and just like make America what it is. that can really compete economically and what we want. I urge the Democrats to build a candidate like that. But yeah, we'll talk about that tomorrow, you guys. Have a great day, man. You know, stay hungry.